This is take 2. I know a lot of you got notifications for the last video that had no audio on it, so I just simply deleted it, and I'm going to have to do it over, which is sad because that was an excellent video. I still have it, but there's no audio to be found. Alright, let's start at the beginning. They call them the 7 old gods, the 7 symbols. Everything's connected to everything else. In this, you have, we could attach the number 1 here as well. This is how they're doing this. This is the numbers they've attached. They're not correct, except for maybe the Sun and Saturn. But I do like the way they have them laid out, because they do work together in a different way. We'll see as we go. The Sun, this is the alchemical symbol for the Sun. Its day is Sunday. Its color is gold or yellow. Its metal is gold. Its element is fire. It rules Leo, so you could put a symbol of Leo here as well, and a symbol of fire. The moon, and it's masculine. It's also masculine, so we can put a positive by it. It's also on the fixed cross, so we can put an F by it. The moon, this is its alchemical symbol. When you say this is the alchemical symbol for the Sun, it's also the alchemical symbol for gold, because alchemy works both ways. It's a language above and below. It's one thing. Moon's day is Monday or moon day. Its color is silver or white. A lot of times you'll find, and its element is water. You can associate, as you can associate gold and yellow with fire. Most people think fire, they think red. No, fire is not red. Air is red. Heaven is red. The devil ain't a red dude. Okay, moon, symbol, element, metal. Its alchemical symbol is water. That downward pointing triangle. It's feminine, and it rules the, well, it's feminine minus, and it rules the cardinal cross. This is cardinal water. This is a symbol for cardinal water, the divine feminine. Gold, its symbol is on the fixed cross, so it's a stable element. This is on the fixed cross. This is on the cardinal cross. So it is above. It is more than stable. It's water. Okay, Tuesday for Mars. This is the Mars symbols. All these symbols is what they use in the logos, especially Jupiter and Mercury most of all. All the market, all the logos, all of that. He's the messenger. It's Mercury they use. We'll get to that. Mars, its metal is iron. Mars is feminine and Scorpio and masculine and Aries. And Scorpio, he rules water. And Aries, he rules fire. And of course you can put these two symbols together and make them the Magen David. Alright. He rules the fixed cross in Scorpio. And he rules the cardinal cross in Aries. So he's divided. This is your root chakra. This is your emotions. The sun and the moon are housed in your solar plexus chakra. They have to come together in that eclipse for the two to become one. But they're both in the same place. It's the masculine and the feminine. It's the battle of fire and ice that goes on within all of us. It's your power sources there in your solar plexus. They work together. To make an electrical charge, you have to have a positive and a negative. And different metals work differently in conducting electricity. So Mars can do it itself between water and fire. The sun and the moon have to work together between water and fire. Now on to Mercury, the smallest of the planets. He's quicksilver. We have 2 silvers, right? And actually we also have 2 irons. There's more than what we call one kind of iron, as there's more than one kind of silver. Quicksilver, or Mercury. We have red Mercury. Red Mercury would be associated with Gemini, to where Quicksilver would be associated actually with Virgo, because he rules mutable earth, so he's feminine, and he rules mutable earth. That's the earth symbol. He does that in Virgo, so when you look at Mercury, automatically 2 constellations pops up, 2 symbols. Same with the others, except for the sun and the moon, because they're singular, only when together, and Saturn. Here, in Virgo, he rules the mutable cross. So he's transmutable. And he rules the masculine air sign of Gemini. I wish I had room to put more here. So that's Mercury. Mercury rules logic and intelligence in the air signs. And Virgo and mutable earth, both of these are mutable. That's all he rules is transmutable cross. Him and Jupiter. But these 2 rule the transmutable cross. In Virgo, he is more quicksilver, and he rules navigation, what we would say travel, which actually I would have put with Gemini, but commerce. This is him in the commerce. So that's what he does in Virgo. We've talked a lot about Virgo and the Jupiter-Mercury deception that's going on. Jupiter ruling this age, this feminine age of Pisces. It is an age of water. It is mutable. In Sagittarius, which is masculine, he rules fire, and it is also mutable. Just like Mercury, they rule this age, period. In palmistry, Mercury is the pinky, and Jupiter is the index finger. The horns of the devil they show you are Mercury and Jupiter, which is commerce of Virgo in this age, and religion, Jupiter this age. Jupiter's metal is tin. He's the Tin Man. We learn in The Wizard of Oz the Tin Man has no heart. So he was given a heart with a clock in it. Time from Saturn. And we see Jupiter constantly in this age putting on these masks of Saturn. Alchemical symbol, metal, element. Its element is tin in the periodic table of elements. Venus. Jupiter's divided again on that mutable cross between the masculine and the feminine. All of this is your battle of fire and ice. Mercury, heaven and earth, air and earth. But bad, mutable, transmutable. Transmutable, it should be good. It gives us a chance to grow and change. We don't evolve, we mutate, and we do it as a species on the mutable cross. And that is entirely ruled by Jupiter and Mercury. But in this duality, it's not the power, it's what you do with it. It's not the energy, it's how you channel it. It's what you do with that, your time, Saturn, and your energy. Your inner G, your inner 7G. This is G. All of these carry a resonance frequency just like the Earth does. We talked about the resonance frequency on the Earth. We'll talk more about that. Venus, copper. And Libra. Venus is masculine and rules cardinal air. That's the most high of heaven, the divine. The cardinal cross carries the power. It's the most powerful. When you talk about the 3 crosses, you're talking about in the elements, that's solid, liquid, gas. Liquids are mutable. We're in an age of water. It's real mutable. Water's the most easiest thing to transmute. We shove water in our body, transmute it. Your body takes what it needs out of the water and flushes the rest out. Everything here is about water, ruled by the moon, Mars, and Jupiter. Rules water. The sun, Mars, and Jupiter rule fire. So this is your battles of fire and ice that go on this end, and they're considered from the solar plexus down. The lower chakras is where we have the battle of fire and ice within us. And your lower chakras will war against your upper chakras. And unfortunately, Mercury rules in the upper chakra with logic and intelligence. And again, being on the mutable cross, we can be dumbed up or down. Now, Venus, again, Libra, masculine on the cardinal cross. And then, so this is the most high of heaven, was cast down to earth. This is the symbol for earth. It's feminine, and it's on the fixed cross. So Venus is always at a master, grandmaster level. Mercury and Jupiter will always be the adept, the initiate, the novice. They're just playing. They're just novices playing. They have no true understanding of knowledge. Mars, iron, being associated with very warlike. But Mars ruling water, we would say when Mars had water. There used to be water on Mars. That's what this means. Mars used to rule water with the moon and with Jupiter. They rule fire and ice. So we have Taurus down here in earth and heaven up here in cardinal air. And her metal is copper. That's her element on the periodic table. I know I say her a lot, but I just associate more with Venus and Taurus than I do Venus exalted. Even though I'm on the cardinal cross, I should associate, but I get along with Taurus people. I'm cardinal earth, so I'm going to get along with Taurus people. I appreciate them and I respect them. The earth signs are hard workers. They're diligent. And again, they're not mutable. It's the mutable that we struggle with on what to do with it. You can take the clay and make anything out of it. You can make something that makes people cry, laugh, or run in horror. You can evoke any emotion with art. And that's what it does. When we see art in these symbols is talking to our subconscious. Our individual and our collective subconscious. The alchemy is the language it's a universal language. It works in any language. It's like math, right? Math is the same all over the world. computer codes, we have different kinds, right? Math is a set science. Well, so is alchemy. And it's telling, this is the science and the language of that wheel that's over our head and that's within us, represented by our chakras, which are represented by these 7. They're connected to our endocrine system in our bodies, which are our glandular hormonal systems, which Mars, adrenaline, Saturn, pineal, Venus, the heart chakra, engaging the thalamus. No man comes to me no man comes to the Father but by me. You got to get through the heart chakra. The thalamus here connects to the hypothalamus in the brain that triggers the third eye. And any other way is you're not coming through the straight and narrow. So you have to pass through Venus. And that's the heart chakra. Psalms 51 tells us, I know you despise burnt offerings, or I would do it. What you want is a broken spirit and a broken, contrite heart. And that's how I opened my third eye. I was heartbroken. I was soul broken. I was like a dog that had just been beat down and was broken. And I surrendered. I didn't want to be here anymore. And I passed the test. I had no desires, Jupiter. I wanted nothing from this world, commerce, Mercury. I was emotionally broken, Mars, root chakra. I wanted nothing from this world. There was no battle in me, no fire, no ice. I just surrendered. I didn't put up a fight. I was chasing death as a small child. And so I passed the test of the heart chakra. I don't know I could pass that test today. My emotions have been off the charts lately. I've been triggered left and right. And I know it's coming. I've even made the videos about it and felt it. And I still got triggered. And I failed that test. But it is what it is. So we got to make it past the Venus. You got to make it past the heart. Mercury, which is mutable in your mind, logic and intelligence, mutable, has to get past the master and the grand master of the heart. Even the mind has to come into laying down at that broken, contrite heart. You just surrender it. I'll surrender all things to the heart. And then we can get to the lead of the matter. He's the leader. It's a lead, but it's lead. His number is 7. You know, I've always wanted to put Mercury here. I've always thought that Jupiter should be in the 4th position and Mercury should be in the 2nd. I know that sounds funny, but right, Sun, Mercury, because 4 and 2 it would be, but actually Jupiter's here. We have Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. The Earth would be here. Then we have the Moon, Venus, Mercury, Sun. That's the lineup we see in the solar system. But that's not the lineup in our body either. All the wires are crisscrossed. You need to know that. Don't get your wires too crossed. You need your wires insulated. That way you don't crossfire. No crossfire. We are electrical beings. Our brains, thoughts are electrical impulses in your brain. You are electrical. Your spark, you're an electrical pulse. You, yourself, your spark is just a mere thought in the mind of God. That's what you are. You are a thought, and you came into being. You are a thought, or a word, or a symbol made flesh. And the word or the symbol was made flesh and dwelt not among us, within us. It's our crown chakra. It's how we get our crown. Saturn rules all of this, but in this mutable age, he lets them run amok. It's coming to an end, and he's starting to take control. And so it's a different kind of war now. This is a war of the mind and the subconscious mind and the imagination. That is, Pluto, the subconscious mind, doesn't rule a chakra, not among the 7. Uranus, ruling the conscious mind. Actually, Pluto's connected to Saturn. Uranus is connected to Jupiter and the conscious mind. And Mercury, that Jupiter-Mercury thing going on. And Neptune is the imagination. Goes between the two, between the etheric and the physical world, Jupiter and Saturn. Alright, Saturn ruling lead. Saturn's symbol, I always call it th. It's the th. It's th. In some languages, it's L. L is God, th is God. What it amounts to in language, it's the. La, el, the. It's always the. It's an article. It's singular. The means one. The means singular. So, the lamb, one lamb. The teacher, the rabbi. It denotes singular. And so, he rules masculine air, the Aleph and the Tau. He's masculine air in Aquarius on the fixed cross. It's stable, immovable. He also rules on the cardinal cross. He's feminine as cardinal earth, most high of the earth and the fixed heavens. He's Pan, the goat man. They perverted it and made it the man goat. They're perverting the symbolism. They tell you they're lying to you about these symbols, and they're lying to you about the symbols they're presenting to you in the media. And it's confusing the collective subconscious. Therefore, when the time of our visitation, each generation has a visitation, which is a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, being in the right place, Jupiter at the right time, Saturn. And you manifest that generation, but you do it from the collective subconscious. And that's why they're perverting the masculine and the feminine. They're taking the symbols for Jupiter and Mercury and telling you they belong to Saturn and Venus, Lucifer and the devil, these two. And they might be the Lucifer and devil to the mutable age, but they are those red words in the New Testament. This is not Jesus. Mercury is the son of Jupiter, the son of Satan. Christ told Peter, the Jew, Peter. In English, we put the subject before the verb or the adjective. They don't do that in other languages. In the other languages, it doesn't say Peter the Jew. It says Jew. The Jew, Peter. The Jew, Peter. But we flip it. So the Jew, Peter, is Satan. And SOS, son of Satan, synagogue of Satan, is the whore of Babylon, which is Virgo. Commerce, money, the religion of worshiping mammon. Mutable earth. You have to make a dollar. Make is to create, because it don't grow naturally. It's unnatural. Money is unnatural. We bar tars. We switch stars. We exchange star power within us. That's what we're doing when we come together, and the man and the woman, and pow, that electrical happens, and you create a baby, which is a new star. We're all stars. Your soul, S-O-L. They throw you in there. You're the S-O-L. You gotta take the S-O-L and put you. Move that you to the front or the back. You're the sun. You, S-O-L. You're the star. You're up there and you're down here. You just need to know who you are. And if you knew who you are, which cross you're on, you'd know what you were supposed to be doing. Are you the adept, novice, here to change, transmute, grow, change, be a part of it all, for the good or the bad? Are you on the fixed cross? Are you the master? Have you mastered yourself so that you can graduate to Grand Master on that cardinal cross? Are you on the cardinal cross? Are you the Grand Master? You're supposed to be teaching, the example, guiding, not following, not judging. This is that's where you move to literally the hermit stage. You find it hard to be social with other people because you're so freaking different, especially in a mutable age. In a fixed age, in a cardinal age, it's not like that. This is crazy nonsense when you hit the mutable cross. And that's how our lives get that way. Our lives get that way when the planets or our chakras move into these mutable crosses. And when they go retrograde on the mutable cross, well, it's like Mars, your root chakra. It's almost impossible to control your emotions when Mars is on the mutable cross. Trigger, bam. And I saw it coming and I still did it. And I knew what I was doing. I was quite aware and conscious that, yeah, I'm reacting. Yep, I'm doing this. Yep, I'm willing to take the responsibility for it. And I did. All right. So Saturn, symbol. He is one. He's Capricorn, Aquarius. He's Pan. He is the crown chakra. He's the temples. These are the temples on the either side of your head. And if you can pull them together into one, and you use the heart to do it, the heart chakra. That's why I tell you it's hard. Y'all don't know what you're asking. Now, this happens to everybody on your deathbed. If it's an instantaneous death, where you're just, bam, you're snatched out of your body. But if you have this, what I call people that linger into death, when they start seeing the other people and they're seeing the angels, their third eye's open. It opens before your death because people tend to purify themselves in the heart before they die. They know it's their time. Saturn. I was chasing it as a child, so it happened for me easily. I had no worldly desires. I didn't have anything. I was a child. I was a middle child, so everything was handed down to me. I owned nothing that was mine. I was rejected and the scapegoat in my family. I walked around with a target on me. And so I had nothing to lose. This is all your worldly gains and pleasures over here. But we're told, if you seek ye first the kingdom, then all this will be given unto you. But you got to find the king and his dome. The dome is the skull in your head. They want to crack the dome. It's got a hole in it. You're born with a hole in your head. Quite a few of them, actually. We have a lot of holes in our head, don't we? It's funny. Pretty much every hole that's in our body, shit oozes out of it. Your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears. You know the rest. They're disgusting to me. But that's the body. I'm not fond of the body. I don't like being in the body. To me, it's death. This is death. I'm in dirt. It might be a living dirt, but it's dirt. It might have a mind and a consciousness and an existence of its own, but it's not me. This body is not me. All of this. I am heart and I am head. I'm triggered and reacted because of the body that I'm in. I have to deal with the body, but this is body stuff here. This is the battle of fire and ice down here. Mercury's just caught up in it on the mutable cross. They use Mercury to make a profit off of all of this. All right. What else can I tell you? The seven gods. You can put Pluto as the subconscious mind in the Black Lodge. When the door to the Black Lodge opens, Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, that's the subconscious mind. And Pluto is going to be there representing this time. You need to clean up the monsters of the id. We create the monsters down here. And it's so much triggered horror, Mars, hate, rejection, emotion, illogic. As you know, we talk about Mercury being logic and intelligent. Mercury retrograde, illogical. Going backwards, retrograde. That retrograde symbol you will find on all of your medications. They're designed to activate one of your endocrine systems in your body. And generally, when they give you something like this, it's going to have something in it that calcifies or shuts down your pineal gland. And even your heart. It tends to trigger your emotion, your emotional state. It tends to stay in this fire and ice emotional state. But it can make you act whack and crazy, which again is a Mars-Mercury going on. Emotions tied with illogic. Mars is that instant reaction, that Ram, that Angry Ram channel. If you haven't gone to Angry Ram, please go watch it. It will teach you so much about Aries. And it is important that we know all of these constellations. Right now, especially what you're told to learn is right here. Right now we should be learning Taurus, which is fixed earth, ruled by the heart chakra. It's the Aldebaran is the nail in the right hand of the Messiah. They crucified the heart chakra. Are you hearing me? They crucified. There's a nail in the sun in Leo. They crucified Fomalhaut, Regulus, even Mars, and Taurus in Scorpio is part of that fixed cross we're moving to. We're all becoming masters, and that requires that you must, one, it's really about this Mercury and Mars, master your emotions and your tongue. Your emotions and your tongue. Communication. That's pretty much what the entire book of Proverbs is about. The book of Proverbs is telling you to get wisdom and understanding. Jupiter and Saturn. Get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But to do that, you must first control your emotions and your tongue. And of course, I failed that test just this week. But I'll get another chance. We all do. There's always redemption. But you must do that for yourself as well. It's your cross. You got to carry it. I stumble, I fail, I got up. And you can too. You have to. You have to. If you find yourself in the place where you stumbled and fell and you can't get up, wow, you're so close to opening your third eye. Let go. The mistakes we make in our life can end up being the best thing that ever happened to us. Horrible events in our life. Look at the horror that happened in my childhood. But look at the gain I got. It's all worth it. And that's what you'll say in the end. If you didn't waste your time here. I know I'm not talking to everybody. I know my channel is not for everybody. I don't want my channel added. I don't want my channel promoted. I want those who belong here to find their way. And the rest of you, go find your place. Go get your cross, find your place. I don't have time to waste anymore with those who just want to play around in this Mercury Jupiterian age of materialism and commerce and fun and jokes and life's a game and a trick. This is school. This is school. This is nature. It's within you. It's all around you. It's below you and it's above you. This is us. All of this is inside each one of us. And it's above us. And we can know. We don't have to guess anymore. Once you pick up your cross and you start carrying it and you learn what it means to be on that cross. What it means to be a novice adept, an initiate, to what it means to be a master, to what it means to be a grand master. I'm Cardinal Earth Capricorn. I totally am. I have the Sun, Mars, and Saturn in my first house. 3 malefics. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. He's not warlike. He's not in water or fire. He's grounded in cardinal earth, and he's a workhorse. He gets the job done. That's what Mars does. He's debilitated in the house of the moon. In water, he gets nothing done. He's a playboy. He just wants to play and goof off in water. In fire, he wants to make war. In water, he wants to make love. But in earth, he works. You need to know how each of these work in the different constellations. They're different frequencies. And they run masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. Leo, masculine. The moon, feminine. Mars, masculine and feminine, depending on which side of the circle he's on. Which house he's in. Now, a lot of you, you're going to be born with either a masculine or a feminine Mars. So you're emotionally effeminate or you're emotionally masculine. But you'll find if you're effeminate and Mars moves into a masculine sign, you'll start taking on aggressive masculine traits. Like cardinal fire. Masculine, cardinal, fire. Whoa. You got to be able to, if you want to walk in that fire, you better be able to wield that fire. And remember, air fuels the fire. Air is Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, those upper chakras. The mind and the mouth, the heart, and the third eye are going to fuel that. So, yeah, keep all that in mind. The planets are really grounded when they're in fixed Earth, which is Taurus, or cardinal Earth, which is Capricorn. Those are the 2 Earth signs that are stable and noble. When we talk about the elements and the 3 crosses, when you say mutable, fixed, and cardinal, you're saying mutable, which is a liquid. Fixed is a solid. It's stable. The sun is stable and it's solid. And then you have the cardinal, which is a gas. It's a noble gas. You have all these words for the cardinal cross, like noble, divine, most high, cardinal. You can't be a pope without first being a cardinal. There are 4 popes. The Pope of Fire, Mars in Aries. Emotional, warlike. It's supposed to be a purified priesthood. But when you project the purification you're supposed to do to yourself out to others and demand they do it, then it becomes what we have today. Religion. It was never supposed to be religion. Religion is for one's self, not the collective. You're supposed to purify self, your cross. But they want to change everybody else's cross. And boy, have they done that. They've played musical crosses on us with the different astrologies. But there is, if you have even a little bit of understanding of these symbolism, you see how the puzzle fits together. And when they start trying to move the chairs around or move the puzzle pieces around, you know, aha, I see what you're doing. And then your subconscious comes back into line with the true symbols. And then you don't manifest the monsters of the id, which is the monsters of the imagination, the monsters of Pluto, the subconscious, the collective subconscious. And they build these monsters in us in the media. Nuclear war, doomsday, apocalypse. Apocalypse means to unveil. You apocalypse the bride before you kiss her. Unfortunately, we got one ugly bride under that veil right now. They have lied to us at every turn. There is no truth in them. No compassion. All truth and compassion, they are ruthless. They are truthless. Real truth comes from here, but the heart can be deceived. The heart has a feminine aspect and a masculine aspect. A good and evil, love and hate come from the same tree. It's one force, one energy. It's what you do with it. When you start the Mars-Venus thing, that we look at life is really Mars-Venus, right? The heart and the emotions, the masculine, the feminine, him and her. And it's fiery. This is where reproduction and all that come from. And and right now they're perverting everything. They're perverting it all. They're making the masculine feminine and the feminine masculine. And it's unnatural. All of this is perfectly natural. I've never found anything in my life that I thought had perfection. To me, this was a creation of flaws. I learned to find beauty in the flaws because that was the uniqueness of a thing. I don't like, to me, everything in the material world based on DNA has a pattern to it. And I see patterns. I always have. To me, there's nothing that does not have a pattern. And repetitious things drive me crazy. Like commercials on TV. It's always been hard for me to watch television. I actually enjoyed cable when it first came out being commercial free. Because the frequencies bothered me. The symbolism made me uneasy. And I just didn't like the way I felt like I was being projected at. Rah, rah, buy this, do this, Sunday, Sunday. You know, big car sales. And it just, oh my goodness. And it was just too much. I was an empath, and it just threw me overboard. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. But it doesn't affect me anymore. I can walk in the fire and, I'm in Las Vegas. The symbols of debauchery are around me everywhere. And I'm completely unfazed by it. As a matter of fact, I feel like the white dot in the black part of the yin-yang. At the center of it all. I'm this one little light that knows it's alive. And I know that's why I'm here. There has to be a light at the center. And boy, am I at the center where I'm at. I keep trying to move. I've been trying to move out of here since I got here. I keep trying to figure out what am I supposed to do where I'm at so I can do it so I can get out of here. I've been trying to rush Saturn along and he keeps going backwards retrograde. So I'm keeping to have to back up to figure out what the F is going on. It's just been crazy. I done 2 charts and a long video last night and didn't realize my microphone was unplugged. I've been playing with Kelly. I'm going to pause this for a second and get me something to drink. Hydrated. I feel better. I've been talking a lot and I was just getting sticky and thirsty. There's so much. I could talk about this for 1,000 years. Some of you tell me some of your videos are too long. I can't watch them all at once. That's okay. Break it up. Watch it when you can. If you want to. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm putting it out there for those who do want it. And really, that's all that should matter. And truly, my ill-found mistake I made this week, which was responding to an idiot, I shouldn't have even said that. But yeah, someone of a lack of understanding. A lot of knowledge, I'll give that, but very little understanding of it. Therefore, no wisdom. But I learned a great lesson. I did learn. And that's the most important thing, is that I realized it myself. Saturn's retrograde. I knew the gloves were off. I know that I am very Saturnalian in my character, in my personality. I am cardinal Earth. I am very self-disciplined. Now, all of these, I'm not telling you cardinal Earth is great, because as great as cardinal Earth is, or any of the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, you know, any of the sun, which is the moon, is cardinal, Saturn's cardinal, Venus is cardinal, and Mars is cardinal. So it's the moon, Mars, Saturn, Venus rule the cardinal cross. And they can be awesomely wonderful. The moon is the divine feminine. It's creation itself. But it's also the destroyer. That's right. Mars can make love or war. When you talk about cardinal fire, that fire can either purify you or burn you to the ground. The same with Capricorn. Cardinals, they're going to do everything to the extreme. Obsessive compulsive people tend to have planets on the cardinal cross. And you can clearly see that. You can see what kind of emotional state you're in just by where your Mars is at. This is how you learn about you. This is the classroom. The classroom is above your head. And it teaches you about you. And we all come from the same source, but we're different. If you wanna say like we're numbers, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of our numbers are in a different sequence in a different place. We all have our own code. We all have our own numeric code that is attached to these planets. And it can be done that way. But this is, the subconscious doesn't speak in numbers. The subconscious, the universe, doesn't speak in language. It speaks in symbolism. And this is the symbolism that it speaks in. Let's go look at the symbols. We talked about this. Is you can overlay this on the periodic table of elements. These are the symbols of the elements of nature on the periodic table of elements. They tell you what they are. See if we can zoom in. This is not the best, but you can find all this on the internet. It's the alchemical table of elements. And you need to learn these symbols. And you need to know, is this symbol mutable, fixed, or cardinal? Is it solid, liquid, solid, or gas? And all of it's here. Jupiter, tin. Saturn, lead. Your symbols for the zodiac. Your alchemical symbols for earth, fire, water, air, earth. Think about what I'm telling you. And there are variants to these symbols depending on the alchemist that's scribbling it. So you need to know that they can go from somebody that's writing in a masculine block script to somebody that's writing in a feminine cursive script. Let me find a different one. I've always recommended this one because it's basic. And as we can see here, all your symbols for your planets, when you blend symbols together, what it means. And everybody needs to know this because they use this in media. They use it in art. They use it to talk to the collective subconscious. That's what they do. And they are creating monsters of the id, so that when the time of visitation comes, we manifest a world of horror. If you do not know what monsters of the id is, please watch The Forbidden Planet. This is a magical place we live in. We are on the Forbidden Planet. This is school. We're learning how to wield the magic of creation. But first, you must know its language. This is the language of nature. This is the language of the universe, of the subconscious. This is what it knows. And it speaks to us. The universe speaks to the collective and the individual subconscious. Pluto, especially during a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, then that manifests for that generation, which is 20 years. Everything is leading up to 2020, and then what we manifest thereafter. Are we going to manifest our nightmares or our daydreams? And that totally depends upon you. And I know right now, all leading up to this is all a test. And we're not gonna, there is no, we're gonna fall down, but you just have to pick yourself back up and keep going. The deal is, do you learn from it? When you fall, do you learn? And do you recognize within self? This is a time about judging self. Venus is currently in Aries, cardinal fire. And Mars is mutable. Saturn, mutable, retrograde. And with Saturn and Pluto all in Jupiter's house of ideology, the symbolism is off the charts. They take everything and turn it backwards, like they do. This is the symbol of nature, right? So they do it this way. It's the difference between clockwise and counterclockwise, and this is natural. This is unnatural. This is the same symbol as that. Yeah, they both mean unnatural, backwards, retrograde, counter. Actually, do I have them backwards? Yeah, no, yeah. This one is correct. That one, this one is the natural one. Nature runs this way. The unnatural runs that way. And then it was unnatural to square the circle to begin with. Then they do the changing the masculine to the feminine. Here's a good one that they've played on everybody that you don't get. And it's talking to the subconscious. Okay, MIB, men in black. Black is earth, and it's always feminine. There's one. 2, orange is the new black. Orange is the new black. We get orange from red, which is air, masculine, and yellow, which is fire, masculine. So black is the new orange, is the new, it is the colors of the masculine axis of every cross. Your masculine axis runs between air, red, and fire, yellow. But men in black is also feminine. Like I said, the nuns wear black, right? The nuns are in black. women are in black and men are in white. Actually, black and white is totally feminine. Black and white is totally feminine, and yellow and red are masculine. In the color wheel, the Native American color wheel, you have yellow, red, black, and white. And they are precious in his sight. Balaam loves the little children of the world. Let's do another one. Hold on. I want to throw something in here for you advanced students. I know this is hard to see here, but what this is the Coptic mansions of the moon according to Kircher. And the mansions of the moon is cardinal water magic from the age of Cancer. And here we have all the symbolism. Let me see if I can get this a little bigger and it still be clear so y'all can actually see what's going on here. Okay, Coptic mansions. He's taken them from the different. You need to know a lot of this symbolism over here. And so you'll know. Get used to it. So when language is gone, you'll be able to read it. Let me put that back. I just want to pull it down, and I'm going to just slowly pull this down. Y'all can pause it where you need to, but this is what you would call a legend. So he's talking about particular notes from particular, I'm just going to call him a scribe or a writer, and this is how he translates it out. Okay? And again, this is going to start from 0 degrees Aries. We've discussed this. But it is, if you can keep right in your mind, then it's okay. You can move forward. 0 degrees Aries is denoted by a star in Aries called Sheraton, which means the first sign. And this knowledge was given, this zodiac for this age was given, or that age, not this one, but the one we're talking about here was given when Sheraton was 0 degrees in the spring equinox. That's no longer true. Aries is no longer, Sheraton is no longer 0 degrees in the spring equinox. Far, far from it. So understand that when you start going through this. But this is going to work hand in hand with Picatrix for lunar magic. And this is what the powers that be are using. Just pause it where you need to. And keep mind these names on the right over here. Once you learn one thing, the universe will open a door to help you have further understanding of that thing. The 13th mansion is the mansion of love. From 4 degrees, that looks like Scorpio. Is that Scorpio? Virgo. 14 degrees to 18 degrees of Virgo. Everything has its good and bad. If this is a mansion of love, remember, duality. It can also be hate. Virgo. Height and depth. The crown. They're putting the crown in Scorpio. Whoa. Well, this is for the age of Aries. You get that, right? You get this is for the age of Aries. And remember, the scorpion is really an eagle that's been hidden. Mansion of chastity in Sagittarius. These are different than the mansions of the moon that are in the Picatrix. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is for Aries, not the age of Cancer. Not moon magic, but these are the Arabic age of the Egyptian, Greek, Arabic for the age of, we know, Aries. And that's how it's all translated out now. For those of you who just are studying this, particularly those of you that are on the Cardinal Cross, because you're going to deal with the mansions of the moon because of Cancer. Or those of you that have planets in Cancer. And then also Aries, because this is the Aries tradition. But the Picatrix, what this is going to work with, right? When you look at one and you look at the other, they're both cardinal. Aries and Cancer are both cardinal. So they play on, this is, the Picatrix is like the handbook for the Pope of water. And this would be like the handbook for the Pope of fire. Does any of that make sense, what I just said to you? Oh my goodness. Hold on. I wanted to show you guys this. This is another symbol of heaven on earth, but they've introduced a Mercurian symbol. This is one of the symbols for Mercury here. And it don't belong here. This should be a symbol of Saturn here, because he represents, this would be more heaven on earth, from Gemini into Taurus is what this would be. Gemini into Taurus. You want this same symbol there. Let's do it. You want the air symbol, the earth symbol, its lines. You can do them this way. You can just put the one line between the middle, but you have to cross the thing that the aleph is really even made that way, so that you get that cross effect. But the symbol here should be Saturn, not Mercury. That's incorrect. That's Gemini into Taurus, heaven on earth. We want Aquarius into Capricorn, heaven on earth. And that should be your symbol. This one, remember, you can do it this way and just put the one line, or that way. You can you could even do it like they do it, just that. But red brings the air quality into it. It should be, let's do it. It should be red on top and black on the bottom. Earth is black. This should be red and black. I'm not in paint right now, or I would do it. I guess I could change. Can I change colors here? Sure. Actually, let me come out. So the symbol would be black on the bottom, red on the top, and you would have one red going this way, and one black going that way. And you could even do the TH. You can do it like that. For Saturn. But that's the symbol. That's the symbol for Pan, not Baphomet. Their perverted symbolism. Pan plays the flute. It's an air, wind instrument, air. Think about all of the, I want your brain to pick this information up, so when you go look at art or media or ads or anything, you see the logos, you recognize them, you know what's being evoked inside of you. You can bring your conscious mind and your subconscious mind into alignment, because right now they're perverting the symbols. Like the devil symbol, oh my goodness, it's all about Jupiter and Mercury, and they're telling you it's Venus and Saturn. They're projecting, the evil is projecting itself onto the good. Here's you an air symbol. And we need to look in here and translate some of this to find out if it's mutable air, fixed air, or cardinal air. And the script in here looks very, it's more almost an Arabian to a Sanskrit type of, it is not block script. I would even chance that this could go into the Orient, one of the off languages. I mean, it's not what we would call of the Western languages, but you see the serpent part here. But within this, all these little symbols are words. But this is air. It should be red. It should be red on black. Probably, I'm going to say mutable. I'm going to say this is mutable air having to do with Gemini. Because that's what this whole age is about. It is Mercury, 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 Mercury. Materialism, money. I'm just going to go through a few random things right now as they pop up and talk about it. From out of Egypt came the stone of scone. The stone of scone is the stone that's supposed to be under the throne of England, that all the monarchies are coronation stone. This is the coronation stone. And it's supposed to be the third eye, right? The crown chakra. That's why they wear the crown. And they've got the stone of Egypt. It's out of Egypt. Remember, the real pyramid, the Giza pyramid, represents the third eye. And they brought the rock with them. But you have your own. It's in your head. You become your own king. All of this is art official. It's official art. We've talked about this before. The Anunnaki. Let's break it all down. In alchemy, throw away the vowels. Throw away double letters. You can only keep one. So it's N. There's a vowel here, so you get another N and a K. And that's a new knowledge. You can change the K to a G, a new Naga. A new Naga. Those who from heaven to earth came, from Libra to Virgo, from Gemini to Taurus, from Aquarius to Capricorn. Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up here with Thalem. And Revelation 14, verse 4. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. It's time to be the Lamb, the Bethlehem. Be the Lamb.